Hi guys, welcome back to the podcast. It's my birthday today, October 13th. I turned 25. I can't believe it. I'm literally having the best birthday weekend ever. And I'm so blessed because we're off today on Monday. So I got to have a nice long weekend with my friends, my family, and just enjoy. Like I had all my friends over on Saturday. That was really fun. I went out to a family dinner on Friday. That was so much fun. Yesterday, I kind of just chilled. And then today's my actual birthday. So I'm recording this podcast. And then I think I'm going to get sushi later and just relax and enjoy 25. But something about birthdays always puts me in a big time of reflection. I feel like your birthday is like your own mini new year. There are a lot of things that I think about like, oh, by this age, I want to do X, Y, and Z. So every time my birthday comes around, I always have a deep reflection on where I'm at, where I thought I would be, where I want to be, and kind of reflect on that, which is why I wanted to record this episode because I've been having a lot of thoughts, a lot of lessons. So today we're going to do 25 lessons I've learned by 25. These lessons are random. Some of them are really serious. Some are funnier, but all of them came to me pretty quickly. So they're not in any order. They're just random and we're just going to go through them. So here we go. The first life lesson I've learned by 25 is don't go broke trying to look rich. Yes, we're starting off with finances because finances are so important. Be smart about your finances, even when you're 18, 19, 20, 21. Those years especially, I feel like societally and culturally, there's a lot of pressure to go into a lot of debt, right? Getting a car, going into debt, going to college, getting into debt, credit card debt, living expenses, paying for rent, all these different things. And it is very tempting to look at that lifestyle and be like, this is the norm and this is just what I have to do. But it's not what you have to do. You do not need to live in a luxury apartment when you're 21 just because your friends are and everybody else is and you're going into debt over it. Yeah, if you can afford it and your family can afford it, absolutely do it. But post-college or whatever, if you need to move back home for a little bit because you can't afford a $3,000 a month apartment, that's fine. That's actually smart, right? I know so many people now at 25, 26 that are in a lot of debt. Like I'm talking over $100,000 of debt that they are struggling to pay off. And they have these payments every single month that they regret for a couple years of experience. You don't need the luxury things. You don't need every single subscription. Be smart about your finances. If you have a beater car for a little bit, have a beater car for a little bit, right? You don't need to be in so much debt just to keep up with the Joneses. Going along with that, number 2 is your credit score matters more than your follower count, right? And let me tell you, it hits you when you're 25. Like I know people that are trying to get houses, apartments, whatever, and they had no idea that their credit score was going down, 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 down because they never knew anything about it. And unfortunately, we don't learn this in school. But I'm telling you, your credit score matters. That's it. Number 3 is your finances show where your priorities are. So if you want to know if you care about something, take a look at your bank account. You'll see if you actually care about it. You ever heard the saying, follow the money? That is true in our personal lives as well. So let's say I care about health and wellness, but when I look on my bank account, most of my money is going towards eating out, drinks, alcohol, bars, restaurants. Do I really care about health and wellness? But I won't buy my supplements or I won't buy my gym membership or I won't take a class or sign up for a course. I won't pay for a personal trainer, right? Look at your finances and that shows you where your priorities lie. All right, number 4, this one's straightforward. Stop signing up for email lists. That's it. Keep your inbox to 0, right? Stop signing up for all those emails that you have to clear out every single week, 10,000 coupons later. Like, I don't need all these emails. Number 5, this one is heartfelt, but there is no better time than right now to take risks and do things out of your comfort zone. You ever heard the saying, the first best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is today? That is exactly the same thing with your goals. Don't think that you're too young or you're too old or it's too late or you don't know enough for something. There is no better time than right now to take the risk and do the thing that you're saying you want to do. You have that in you for a reason. Listen to it and follow it. Number 6 kind of goes along with this as well, that little steps are still steps. Little baby, small inch-sized steps are still steps forward. And if you have a goal, chip away at it every single day. Just do one more step, one more step, one more little baby step. And eventually you'll look back and you'll see how far you came on it. Number 7 is you don't need to dim your light just to try to look humble. And I have humble in quotes. And what I mean by this is for so much of my life, I love being like life of the party energy. Like I like to dance and talk and be loud and be fun. And obviously in the right settings, but I like to have fun around people. And I've always been this way. I grew up doing shows and theater and all that kind of stuff. So it's just natural for me. But for so much of my life, I was like embarrassed of that and ashamed of that because people say I'm too loud or I'm too this or I'm too much or I'm too that. Obviously, being younger, I was probably more immature back then as well. But what I've realized as I've gotten older, and that's still a part of me, is people love to celebrate with you and the right people will, right? Like I just had my birthday party and I had so much fun and I didn't even once feel ashamed or felt like I had to make myself smaller just to make people feel comfortable. It was so much fun and the right people want to celebrate you. I used to even do this, like I would kind of just downplay my achievements or downplay my birthday or downplay different things. And it's like, why do I need to do that? That doesn't make you look humble. That just downplays everything. People love to celebrate you. So if you have a trait about you, don't dim it just because you think people are going to respect you more. Like, honestly, there's still going to be people that don't like you, even if you dim yourself. So you might as well be the full version of yourself. Number 8 is your reputation follows you. And this is important. And this is something that a lot of people won't say. A lot of people say, be yourself. And I kind of just said that, but your reputation follows you and how you treat people follows you. So if you're going through a phase of treating people poorly or like not doing things the right way, your integrity, your reputation, your work ethic, all of that follows you. That matters almost more than your skill set. Like I know at work, there are people that have the highest degrees and the most experience and they've been there a long time and different things like that. But if they're the same people that are also showing up 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late, and nothing really happens, but it continues to happen, people look at that differently. You can be the most skilled, the most achieved in the room, but if your work ethic isn't good or your integrity isn't good or you're dishonest behind closed doors, that shows up and that matters and that follows you. You could have every achievement under the book, but your character will always show. And a little bonus one with this is how you do the little things is how you do the big things. So if you are showing up a little bit late or you're skimming off the top or you're dishonest behind closed doors, that will show up at some point. Okay, next one. The grass is green where you water it. Okay. And I know you've heard this before, but social media is always showing us the new exciting thing. They're always showing us how you can change things about yourself and change things about your life. And, you know, even like dating podcasts, it's always like, oh, here's what the next partner has, and here's what you should wish for. And if they're not doing X, Y, and Z and all these different things, then just drop them and find something better. But truly, the grass is green where you water it. I heard this new phrase called FOBO, and it's fear of better options. Like that is infiltrating our culture and everyone thinks there's just always better. But I promise you, sometimes you just need to take care of what you have and then you'll see that you already have it really good. That's the point of this. Obviously, there are certain serious things that if that's happening, absolutely get out of that relationship, get out of that job, get out of that situation. But most of the time we want better and we want this like super green grass and everything to be perfect, but we won't take the time to take care of what we already have. And that goes for everything. That goes for relationships, jobs, your own physical body. Like I will see people drop so much money on plastic surgery, procedures, all that kind of stuff, but they won't spend the time to take care of their body in the simple ways like fitness, nutrition. And that's a hot take, I know, but I really mean that. Like there is so much pressure, especially on young girls, to start getting preventative Botox and preventative this and preventative that. And it's like the real preventative stuff is doing the stuff that is simple, but it's not always easy. But it's the simple things like taking care of your skin with a skincare routine, drinking water, getting your vitamins and minerals, eating a clean diet, going to the gym a couple times a week, getting a sweat on. Those things matter, right? But instead, we're so quick to be like, oh, the grass is greener if I get this or I do this or whatever, you know? And it's like, no, take care of what you have and you will see that it's probably a lot better than you think. All right, number 10, giving to others will always come back to you tenfold. And this is true for a lot of reasons. One, giving to others makes you feel really good. And I think that's something we're missing in society is we're very focused on ourselves, like self-care, self-love, and those things are great on their own. But something we're missing is giving to others just makes you feel really good. It makes you feel good. It makes the other person feel really good. And I don't know if it's karma or what, but it comes back to you later. Even if it doesn't come back to you right in that moment, giving to others will always come back to you. And it kind of goes along with what I was saying about your reputation. If your reputation is somebody that's giving and generous, that is going to follow you positively long term. And of course, if you're known for being giving and generous, of course, some people are going to take advantage of that. That's just the side effect of it. There will be people that know like, oh, she always pays for everything, so I'm going to get the steak, right? And there are people like that. But if you continue to just give and be generous, I really feel that it will come back to you. It always does. Maybe not right in that moment and maybe not even from that person, but from other people, and in the future, it comes back to you. So continue to give, continue to be generous, even if you don't see the effects right away. I promise it's coming. All right, let's get into some relationship talk. Number 11 is relationships will not fix you or heal you. It's very easy to think that when you're single, oh, once I get into a relationship, everything's going to figure itself out. As somebody that's in a long-term relationship, I can tell you the relationship did not solve or heal any of the problems I had before the relationship. If anything, those things just came to the surface more. No relationship is going to heal the things that you need to heal, okay? As much as your partner loves you and takes care of you, and they can for sure help you, your problems are still your problems, and you have to do the work to heal them. Yes, the right partner might help you, right? And they might support you and help you figure things out, but they will still never solve all of your problems. That's up to you to do. Yes, the right partner will support you and help you. But if you're having struggles with codependency or insecurities or just natural problems that every single person has at some point, if you're in your singleness and you think a relationship is going to just solve that and fill in that missing piece, I can promise you even the best partner and the best relationship will not fill that piece. You have to fill it yourself. So take that with what you will. All right, number 12, going along with the relationship advice. If you're in a relationship that starts off hard, it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. So if you're young and you're in a situationship or you're trying to get this guy to like you or whatever's going on, cut your losses now. If it is already hard and causing you confusion and stress and struggle, that is not the right relationship for you. Your relationship, that right relationship for you, will start off pretty easy. It will start off natural, organic, fun. The right relationship brings you clarity, not confusion. So if you're feeling confused, quit it. That's not for you. Number 13 is there are trade-offs to everything. And I was having this conversation with my friend because we were talking about her dating life and trying to find the one and the right guy and everything like that. But this applies to relationships. It also applies to friendships, jobs, really everything. But there will always be trade-offs. And what I mean by this is it's okay to have a list of standards or a list of wants, a list of desires. You can want a guy that's 6'5", blue eyes, trust fund, brown hair, whatever that song is, right? You can want all of those things. That's totally fine. But there will always be a trade-off to whatever it is that you want. So let me explain. Let's say you want somebody that's super ambitious and hardworking, right? Those are great qualities. That's super attractive to me. You want somebody that has a lot of drive, ambition. The trade-off to that is they are probably also the same person that's working a lot. They're the person that they're not going to drop everything and go on a random vacation with you. They're not going to just be home with you hanging out. They're going to be working. That's the trade-off of having somebody that is ambitious and hardworking. That doesn't mean they're a bad partner. That just means they're going to show up in other ways. Or maybe you want somebody that's the life of the party and super fun and outgoing, right? That's super fun to be around. But that trade-off is they are not going to be the same person that is shy and observant and sensitive. They're going to be more outspoken and outgoing, and they might not be as soft like somebody that's shyer. That's the trade-off. Maybe you want somebody that's super physically fit, right? And they're into fitness. That person is not going to be the same person that's getting ice cream with you every single day and having cheat meals every single day. They're going to be more regimented and routined and disciplined. And yes, that's attractive, but sometimes that might not be as fun all of the time. But that's the trade-off to wanting somebody that is super into fitness. Social media and society lets us think that we can have this perfect list of a perfect person. And it's kind of like the grass is greener thing where you think, oh, I will find somebody with this entire list. And it's like you can make a list all you want, but there are trade-offs to every single part of that list. So when you're making that list, think about those qualities and think about all sides of the qualities, not just the perfect parts of that quality. Think about every single part of that. Are you prepared for every single side of that quality that you want? Because you have trade-offs too. Even if you're not thinking about it right now, you have trade-offs yourself. So it's impossible to expect somebody to not have those. For example, I consider myself a very organized person. And the trade-off to that is, yes, okay, I'm organized and neat and tidy, but the trade-off is I get pretty annoyed when things are out of place, and I've had to learn how to kind of pull back a little bit and pull back the reins and not be so controlling and uptight about things being a certain way. That's my trade-off. And this applies even for jobs, right? My job, I love my job because I have a lot of flexibility, I have autonomy, I have creativity. I can think about how I teach dance and what I get to do. And I get a lot of time off, obviously working at a school. But the trade-off is I don't get paid as much, right? Like that's the trade-off. Or you want a job that is super high paying. Maybe that's your big priority. The trade-off is you're probably going to be working worse hours, longer hours, weekends, holidays, or different things like that. There are always trade-offs. And of course, there are better situations than others, but be realistic in what you're expecting out of a relationship because there's always going to be a trade-off. So do you care about ambition or do you want somebody that's home with you? Do you care about organization or do you want somebody that's easygoing and free-flowing? Really get clear on those things. Number 14 is people show love in different ways. And just because they aren't showing it your way doesn't mean they don't care. This is one that I learned this year because it's easy to expect people to treat you exactly how you would treat them because that's your style and that's your love language and everything like that. But what I've learned is people show love in their own ways. And the more you understand somebody and you get to know somebody, the more you see that that's their way of showing love and that's how they show that they care. It doesn't mean that they don't care. It means that they're showing you in a different way. It's really easy to get mad at your partner, your friends, your family for not doing exactly what you would do, but understand that they are their own person and they have their own way of showing love. And if you can figure out the ways that they show love, you will save yourself a lot of fights and a lot of heartache because you'll see that they actually do care. They're just showing you in a different way. Number 15 is friendships change and evolve. And I'm really happy about this one because I feel like in the last year, my friendships have really changed and evolved in such a beautiful way. They've really grown, they've really blossomed. And I'm really grateful for that because friendship is hard. Having quality friends is hard and it's very easy to want like this big, huge friend group, but not understand that some people have all that and they're not even super happy in it. And just because you're in a season of maybe not having the most amount of friends or the closest friends or friendships that really stimulate you doesn't mean that it will stay like that. I feel like right now in my life, I've never felt more loved and supported, but 6 months ago, I was struggling with friendships and I'm really grateful and happy because I don't know, like I had all my friends over this weekend. We had a little party at our house. 25 people showed up, which is insane. And some were like family, some were like boyfriends and girlfriends of my friends, but it was still just so cool having people show up and celebrate. I don't know, like I just feel really loved and blessed and supported. And they're not just surface level friends, like they're people that I talk about deep things with. And that feels really good too. Like having people that you can have emotional conversations with, spiritual conversations with, that matters. That will change and evolve as life changes and evolves. Like you don't have to stay friends with the same people for 25 years to have good friends. And that's something that I thought too is like, oh, but I'm not friends with people that I was friends with when I was 5. And it's like, yeah, because you're a different person than when you were 5 and that's okay. You can still have high quality friendships, even if they're only 3-year friendships or 4-year friendships or whatever. Going along with that, number 16 is now that I'm 25, I feel like I'm entering the era of a lot of people are getting married and a lot of people are having kids. And I feel very blessed, but holy cow, bridal showers, baby showers, weddings, all of that are super expensive. So just prepare. If you are like 22, get ready because it's all going to start happening at once where you start getting invited to a lot of bridal showers, baby showers, weddings, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm in that season right now. And I feel like I'm just getting started in it. And holy cow, is it expensive, but it's fun. And I love celebrating my friends. So it's fine. Number 17 is trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. There have been so many times where I've known not to do something or I've known something was off and then I don't listen to it because I'm like, oh no, I'm just crazy or whatever. And then it's been right. Trust your gut and trust how you feel, especially if you're female. Like I feel like women's intuition is so strong. Listen to it. And the more that you listen to it, the stronger it gets. So trust your gut, even if you have no physical explanation. Trust it. Number 18 is nothing lasts forever. The good parts, the bad parts, all of it. Nothing will last forever. So whatever season you're in, whether it's good or bad, a mountain, a valley, it doesn't matter. It's not going to last forever. So embrace it for what it is and keep moving. If it's good, really soak it up and embrace it. If it's bad, know that it's going to end soon and you will be out of it and you'll look back and be grateful for the experience. Number 19 though is the one thing that will last forever is house chores. They never end. I wish somebody would tell me stop rushing to grow up because the house chores never end. The laundry, the cleaning, the floors, the dishes, none of it ever ends. You can do your whole Sunday reset and by 7 p.m. you have more stuff to do. It's crazy. Number 20 is you're allowed to change what you want in life at any given time. Just because you told somebody that you wanted to do something, or just because your family expects it from you, or just because you really thought you wanted to do something, if you change your mind, you can change what you want at any given time. You can change your career path. You can change your friends. You can change the lifestyle you're living. If you are unhappy in the lifestyle you're in, you can change it and you can make changes right now. Number 21 is you won't always feel ready. Do it anyway. There are so many moments where I don't feel ready to do something and I do it anyway, and I'm super grateful and it pushes you to the next level. So you're not always going to feel ready. In fact, most of the time you won't feel ready for something that is worth doing. So do it anyway. 22 goes along with this. Nobody really knows what they're doing, especially the ones that act like they do. Yes, even your boss. Yes, even people higher than you. Nobody really knows what they're doing. And something about that is a little bit freeing. 23, avoidance is expensive. If you are avoiding financial things, emotional things, spiritual things, you are doing yourself a disservice. It's just going to build up. It's just going to get worse. Face whatever you're avoiding. But maybe it's your lifestyle change. Maybe it's your finances. Maybe it's your spirituality. Whatever it is that you're avoiding that is telling you something, face it. 24. This is something I'm still learning, but sometimes your first reaction is not your best reaction. Wait 24 hours. Write about it in your diary. Put it under your pillow. Then approach it. Give yourself 24 hours. You don't always have to know exactly how you feel about something before you go approach it. Give yourself time to think about it, feel it, and then put together a more appropriate reaction. And then 25 is that 25 is not that old. When I was young, I thought that I would be married with kids by now because 25 sounded like such an old age. And obviously that's not the case. Life is long and there's still plenty to learn. So embrace where you're at. Stop rushing to get to the next age, to the next milestone, and just enjoy where you're at in this moment. Yes, people might pressure you. Oh, when are you getting engaged? When are you getting married? When are you having kids? When are you doing this? When are you doing that? And it's like, I will get there one day, but there is so much to enjoy right now in this sweet moment where we're at. So just enjoy where you're at, because one day you're going to look back on this exact season of life and say, I should have just enjoyed that because there was a lot of good parts to that. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you learned a little something. These are just some life lessons that I've learned. I obviously still have a ton more to learn, but these are things that I've been keeping note of. I actually do this every single month where I will write a life lesson from the month. So some of these are from that, but I encourage you to do that. If you're getting a birthday soon or just the end of the month, reflect on what you've learned and then read through it, because you have a lot of wisdom no matter what age you're at. And I actually did that at my birthday dinner too with my family. I asked every single person to give me like advice for this next year. And my younger brother gave me advice. My parents gave me advice. Like people my age gave me advice. So it's nice to learn from people from different generations. That's a really big thing that I like to do. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for listening. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.